All right, Podfeed, are you ready to go live?
I am. It looks like the HomeKit thing didn't run.
Well,
hey Siri,
there's a reason. This is Monday night.
It's showtime. Oh, that's interesting. All right, go live.
All right, we're going live. Oh, we still need to go live in Discord too, audio.
Well, oh, where are we? Yeah, let me go in there.
All right, can you hear me in Discord chat room?
I see Rick and Sandy. I can't get this battery out of this light tonight.
Question for the people who are watching the video. We just upgraded Mimo Live, the tool we use to broadcast, and it has new labels on each of the video sources that are in the tool.
Yeah, so do you see main camera on top of Steve?
Actually, I do see them in the YouTube video, so I don't know how to get rid of those yet. I've been searching to no avail.
It's got to be a layer, Steve.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of the layers, don't you think?
I don't see it. It's a new item that has never been here before.
He asked me, "Hey, I have a new version I've been hesitating to install. Should I install it now?" I said, "Sure."
So we got a new feature
Why not?
That we don't know how to control. I've been looking all
and
over.
all this noise you might be hearing is me trying to get my light battery, a new battery on. I don't know why. Sometimes this pops on and off really easily, and sometimes it just gets recalcitrant, and it's in a recalcitrant mood right now. What is it?
Recalcitrant? That's a lot of syllables.
I know. Okay. Ooh, we have light.
Wow, that's bright.
Okay, hang on. I gotta pull off my headphones.
All right.
There we go.
All right, back to your good lighting.
So I think we might need another reminder from the chat room, and it's called Allison, turn off the light.
Turn off. Oh, right.
Because that's what's happening is I'm forgetting to turn off the light each time.
Yes.
So it's the battery's been dead every the last couple of times when we go to get started here. So let's see. Did you see I put a new version of the blog post up, Steve?
I got that.
Did you get the refresh on that?
Yep.
All righty. End the holidays with an experiment in terror. Well, cheers. Happy Labor Day.
Cheers.
All right. We're drinking gin tonight, so that's going to be good. All right. We got roll call. We've got Kevin and Jerry Jr. and John is orange for some reason, Nuclear John, and Rose and Kaylee, who is in a typhoon right now, so that's awesome. Rick C, Rick Cartwright, and Sandy, and looks like Frank's get it in here. Wait,
he's been here a while.
Oh, he has been over here a while. Why does he have red dots?
I don't know. He's talking, but he's been chatting.
Okay, good. Yeah, Frank's got red dots below him. I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, why are you red, Frank? You doing something weird?
All right, let's see. I'm going to save whether Steve demands it or not.
Save away.
All right. I think I'll do a test recording here. Actually, am I loud? You guys usually yell at me when I have it on 5 dots.
Sound normal to me.
Huh. All right. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeed.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Monday, September 2nd, 2018. This is show number 696. Let's hear how that sounds. See if you can hear that. Come on. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast. Coming out of the wrong speakers. Preferences. Your chat room Discord is captured as source 2. Source 2. So, Steve, that's got to be in there.
Yeah, I'm looking. Everywhere I can look.
It's got to be a layer.
I thought I had it. There was show or hide output title bar, but that's not it.
Hosted to podfeed.com, a technology geek podcast with it. So you want to go ahead with it like that, or you want me to come look?
You're welcome to look. It might take a while, but...
All right, let me come look for a second. I'll be on the other camera in just a moment.
All righty. Don't get confused, chat room. She's going to appear on my camera. Now, but you got Tesla in the lower left corner of hers. So
okay, don't tell me where you've looked.
All right.
Why is your cursor a Mickey Mouse glove?
That's for movement. That's to move things.
Oh, interesting.
But I wouldn't recommend that.
Never seen a Mickey Mouse glove. Scab color, red, transition, name tags.
Oh.
There you go.
Thank you, Potfeet. She does it again. Name tags. Let me... that must be a new feature.
So I bet the idea is that you would actually have named sources, like you would say, Allison Facecam.
But I don't see where I can... Oh, those are the... Yeah. I guess we could rename those. Let's do it without them.
Oh, fine. I'm getting a lot of hiss here. That's my processor's going crazy again because you won't let me use NDI.
Yeah. But at least you get a high-resolution screen now.
I guess.
And
you can hear the
numbers.
sirens outside, right?
Yeah. Wait, it came back. Did I hit that? Wait a minute.
Maybe it's on each layer, Steve, because now you're doing the.
Oh, you're right. Each layer,
Yeah.
I have to redo. Wait a minute. No, this one. I'm hitting.
Name tags aren't toggled on.
I'm toggling them off and on now, and it's not changing them. It's only when I go to this view.
Am I going to have to come in there again?
Let's see.
Oh, I'm assuming you guys heard playback.
Ah, there it is.
Oh,
Okay,
Frank says
got
he's
it.
the sausage tonight.
All right, I got it.
Okay. All right, good. All right, I think we should get the show started. It's 5:07, Steve.
Yeah, run a little late.
All
Don't wanna
right,
keep
I'm
the
going
class too
to
long.
mute Steve. Goodbye, Steve.
Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Monday, September 2nd, Labor Day 2018, and this is show number 696. Well, as you know by now, Apple's next big announcement date is on Wednesday, September 12th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. As we've done before, Steve and I will be in the live chat room to compare thoughts while we watch with any NosillaCastaways who want to join us. There won't be any video from me. This is all just text chat so we can pay attention. I know there are podcasters who like to talk over the video, but I kind of like to watch the video and listen to the video and then just text chat when we have time. If you've never been in the live show before, maybe because of time zones, the show is at an inconvenient time, this is a great way to get your feet wet and meet the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. The chat can be found in an app called Discord, which you can download from discordapp.com. You can get that for just about any operating system known to woman. The live chat is found at podfeet.com/chat. So after you get Discord app, you can go to that site and you can actually use Discord at the web, or you can bring it into your Discord app itself. You'll follow the directions. Everybody else has been able to figure it out pretty quickly, so I think you're up to the challenge. I really hope you guys will join us. It's quite a bit of fun. All right. Anybody gonna come join us?
Jerry
Ever
said
been to a
something
dead show?
about September's...
I've been to a dead show, Frank. Sorry, what?
Jerry said something about September 2nd. Did you refer to September 2nd at some point? Or was it? I don't know.
Yeah, today is September 2nd.
No.
Yes,
Third.
it is.
3rd.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Shoot. All right, well, let's do that again.
Thank
It
you,
says
Jerry.
September 2nd in my, Well, that's what happens when you write the show notes early and then you don't pay attention to the calendar.
That's
All right,
why
well,
we
we're
have
going to just...
That's why we have a chat room.
Absolutely. Actually, I think I can probably rescue the second half of that. I don't have to redo all that. So you know by... Okay, so I'm going to take that piece there. There. Nope. I knew you can do that. I tried to do it the other way.
By the way, are you going to bring up in
Actually,
this?
no. What's that?
Are you going to bring up our? Is that what you were just talking about? Joining the chat room for the event? On the 12th?
Yes.
Okay.
You didn't listen, huh?
I didn't hear what date. What date you said? You did say the 12th.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You didn't listen.
No.
All right, here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Monday, September 3rd, 2018, Labor Day, and this is show number 696. Well, that's why we have the live chat room. Jerry just pointed out that the first time I said this, I said it was September 2nd. So you are hearing the second time I've recorded this important announcement of the beginning of the show. Might as well give Jerry some chops, huh? All right, let me listen that gap now. The beginning of the show. Well, as you know by... Okay. And I gotta get the intro music and hear how that sounds. God knows where it's going to land now. Today, and this is show number 696. Close enough. All right. Jerry liked it, huh? Why did Steve just disappear? Steve, you keep disappearing on my control surface.
I popped myself out.
No, but you're doing something different than just this.
What am I doing?
You're actually disappearing from the control surface.
When I do my audio, maybe?
No.
I didn't change it? Okay.
No, and so I'm turning off 3-Up Al Chat Steve.
Is this changing it for you when I do this?
No. Okay. So it's when you put it, so normally you get rid of 3-Up Al Chat Steve like this.
Right.
That keeps your video there, but you're doing something else that's making you disappear, and I keep thinking you've been lost.
I don't know what that is.
All right. Okay, muting Steve. Chit Chat across the pond this week was Bart Boost Shots with Programming by Stealth, installment 61 of X. We're still having a lot of fun with Bootstrap, this time learning 2 new classes. We learned how to make Jumbotrons. I mean, that's just fun to say. Jumbotrons are those big images with a call to action on them that all the cool kids are using today on their websites. We also learned about how to make badges, like the kind you see showing unread messages on Gmail or to show new on a post. The lesson was pretty easy and the homework sounds really fun. But just in case, luckily Dorothy already did the homework, so if it's too hard, I'm just going to cheat off her paper anyway. You can find this installment of Programming by Stealth, of course, over at podfeet.com, and Bart has his amazing tutorials over at bartbooshots.ie, and of course, there's links in the show notes to all of that. Okay, I need to close the windows or something. We're getting all kinds of planes.
I hear an airplane. You want me to go close it?
No, it's too hot and sweaty. We'll just wait a second.
All right.
Oh, I want you guys to notice something. You see the PBS logo he just put in there? That's a new and improved for Mojave logo.
Also,
I changed him from black to a 16% gray or 16% slight or whatever into gray because on black you can't see him.
Oh, good point. So now
I noticed it.
He pops from the gray.
Yeah, I noticed it because I've started using the dark mode in Tweetbot, and when I drag him in, all I can see is the eyes and the squiggly brackets, the squirrely brackets, sorry. Hey, where's Toby?
Oh, shoot.
Oh, nuts. I'm going to be playing Toby's review tonight.
That's unfortunate he's not here.
Yeah. All right, let me start it up. Goodbye. Before I play this next review, I want to give you a little bit of a setup. The review is from our youngest NosillaCastaway, the youngest that I know of anyway, Toby from the live chat room. The app he's going to review is an app that allows you to connect MIDI pad controllers, MIDI keyboards, or MIDI drums to your Mac and control them directly. He received a Launchpad Mini by Novation and is using the app Melodics from melodics.com to control it. After he's done explaining it in his own unique style, I'll give you a little bit more information about it. All right. Steve can come back. And now I'm going to go find Toby. Toby, let's see, I think August 27th. You have Mr. Sniffles, Steve.
Mr. Sniffles. No one likes Mr. Sniffles.
Name
that movie.
I know what movie it is.
Yeah. Chat room.
Anybody know what movie that is? No one likes a Mr. Sniffles. You guys got to hear this review. It's hilarious. About it.
Hey Nozilla Castaways, TJ here, back with another review, finally. I'll be reviewing a product called Melodics. Sorry about the background noise, that's my sister. Melodics claims to be able to teach you to play drums, piano, or MIDI pad. Why do I say claims? No reason. It does exactly what it says, and is well worth the $10 a month that it costs. Yes, Allison, it's a subscription. You can download it at melodics.com. It has a nice color scheme, and the app is really well polished. It has no monthly fees, that is if you pay yearly, which leads me to the strange price. Shut up! It has no monthly fees, that is if you pay yearly,
Priceless.
which leads me to the strange pricing. It's $20 a month if you pay monthly, but it's...
Okay, I'm actually going to stop it here and jump ahead. I do not have my chair towel.
By the way, Kaylee was right. How to
What?
Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Well
She
done.
got the name.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, do you love that movie too, Kaylee? That is one of my favorite movies. In fact, we should watch that tonight, Steve.
Chick film. Do I owe you one?
I watch it about 5 times a year. I watch that movie hoping for advice, but alas. That's funny, Kaylee. That's a good shot. All right, where's my cursor? Hello. There you are. Okay, muting Steve.
Bye!
All right, Toby, I really appreciate you bringing us that great review. I'm sorry, but I think my... Wait a minute, what happened? Showed me talking before
Do you want your chair
he was
towel?
done. No. Talk.
Bye!
Well, thank you so much, Toby, for that review. That was fantastic. I'm sorry, but I think my favorite parts are when you yell at your sister to be quiet when you're doing your reviews. I love that. Well, I downloaded Melodics on my Mac to see kind of what Toby was talking about. Now, while I have no MIDI devices, the software let me install and use it to control a virtual piano. It's limited to 13 keys, but if I log in, it would unlock 20 free lessons, which I assume are going to teach me how to play the piano. I haven't done that yet, but maybe you want to dig a little deeper and try it out yourself. Melodics is available at melodics.com. Oh, hey, did anybody tell me to do a chapter?
Chapter mark.
Yeah, now. And I figured out why it
Seriously,
looked
Kevin,
like
you've
it.
never heard of that movie. It is fun.
Oh my gosh, such a fun movie.
So it's Matthew McConaughey and Goldie Hawn's daughter. What's her name?
Yeah, what's Goldie Hawn's daughter's name, Kaylee?
I can never remember her name.
No, there it is.
Kaylee should
Toby
know.
on Melodics. Melodics.com. Whoop. There is no blog post for this, so who's talking to me? I'm not do not disturb because I'm on the wrong day. Ooh, I might as well just take that watch off. It's about to die. Kate Hudson. Thank you,
Thank
Rose.
you.
So, I mean, there's eye candy for everybody on that one. Rose beat me.
Let me guess.
All right.
Matthew takes his shirt off at some point.
Well, so does she. So, it's all fair, right? Actually, you don't see anything, but of course he takes his shirt off. All right. So now we are going to talk about QR codes.
Yay, QR codes. Can't
I had
wait.
fun with that. Oh, I get to play the Dumb Question Corner music. I haven't gotten to play that in forever.
Cue the dumb question corner.
And probably should do a chapter mark for that. What do you think?
Thank you, Kevin. Yes.
Okay, we'll go there. And why am I... Oh, I need to be back here first. Too many previews. Here we go. So this is chapter marks. It's a lot of extra work to do this.
I think she said you saved, right? Saved in chapter mark.
Did I
Kevin's been
save
yelling
too?
it pretty hard.
Fine. Save. All right. So now. .com.
Dumb
Dumb
questions.
questions. Dumb questions.
What is?
How come I always have to?
It's time for Dumb Question Corner.
Okay. Stop.
You're putting in stuff. I'm going to show this.
What?
All your magic on the air.
Well, there's a really important one. So point your cameras at the QR codes that he puts up. Oh, where's the main one? Dagnabbit. I've had so much trouble with.
I think I can go make it full frame.
The main the QR code is gone. Okay. Yeah, but you can't show them QR codes then. Oh, I guess you can paste them into the show notes.
Do you want it from the post?
Yeah, do the first one right next to QR codes for Wi-Fi passwords.
The featured image?
Yeah, no, well, no.
The one below it.
The featured image one is good, then do the other one. Okay, I got to start recording here. Now there's another plane. What is it? Is it like an air show going on? Come on. Hydrate, yes. That's important, Frank. Tanqueray and tonic tonight. Okay, I'm just recording with the airplane. I'm tired of waiting. I've really missed the dumb question corner music, but we're going to have fun here. No, that didn't make any sense. I've missed the dumb question corner music. Well, I'm sure all of you out there listen all the way to the very bitter end of the NosillaCast, just in case there's something completely different at the end, right? Absolutely. Well, then I'm sure you remember when I did the shout out asking for dumb questions last week. I mentioned that Linda Goucher had sent in a bunch of them a while ago, and I hadn't answered her yet. She piled them up and sent them right after Macstock Expo, and let's start with one of them right now. She wrote, in NosillaCast number 690, about an hour and 32 minutes in, between you and Bart were talking about passwords on sticky notes on routers and such, and you mentioned in passing that you use a QR code to let folks visiting you get on your home network. How do you do that? Maybe something on Apple's password manager that I don't know about since I use 1Password? Well, I have to say, I did not remember that part of the conversation, so I went back and I listened. Sure enough, Bart said that he does use a QR code to give people his crazy long Wi-Fi password. I didn't have a chance to ask him exactly how he did that, but I figured out a really cool way or cool ways to get this done. First of all, let's make sure everyone knows what we mean by QR codes. QR stands for quick response, and it was a method of creating a two-dimensional barcode for the automotive industry in Japan in 1994. Kaylee will like that part. These are the little white square boxes with geometric black lines and squares on them that you can scan with your camera, and then interesting things happen. The basic idea is that you can encode information into these 2D barcodes that can be decoded by your phone's camera. The cool thing is that the open source community has come up with some de facto standards on how to encode different types of information so they can be interpreted properly by your phone. For example, I should say, a properly encoded URL will prompt your phone to open a web page. You can encode your contact information, and if properly encoded, it will prompt the phone to add it to the person's contacts. The ZXING project on GitHub, I have no idea how to pronounce that. I wish the letters were the other way around, but like Z-Sting. Anyway, ZXING project is a set of libraries where these encoding schemes are described. The format for encoding a Wi-Fi password is quite simple. And most of this is in capital letters. It's Wi-Fi T WPA S the name of your network P the password for your network, followed by two semicolons. That's right. The last ones are semicolons. The first two are colons. Anyway, you don't need to remember that. It's in the show notes, of course. Let's break it down. Wi-Fi T WPA means Wi-Fi of type WPA as the authentication type, or the encryption type, I should say. Then S and your network name is the network SSID. Next, you've got P my password is where you enter your password. There's a few more parameters possible, but that's enough for most of us. Okay, so now what do we do with this newly written text that I just told you how to write? Do a simple search for QR code generator, and you'll be given tons of sites that will take this text string and turn it into a QR code. One example is the QR, well, I'm going to spell this out a little bit, the-QR code-generator.com. Of course, link in the show notes. If you plop that text string into any of those sites, it'll blurp out the QR code for you. Now take a screen snapshot of the QR code or download it, copy image, whatever you want to do, and print it out. With an iPhone, people simply have to point their camera at the QR code and they will be asked if they want to join your network. It'll show the real name of your network, but it won't show them the password. So that's kind of nice too. Not only do they not have to type it in, you're not actually telling them what it is. They tap OK and they're on your network. On some Android phones, they can also simply use the camera, but other ones that might require them to have a QR code scanner application. There are also sites and easy search away that are designed specifically to create QR codes for Wi-Fi networks without knowing this double secret formula I just described. I know I could have told you that up front, but what fun would that have been? And actually comes in handy at the very end of this discussion topic. I would recommend going directly to the open source QR code generator by the ZXING project, the project that created the standards. You can get their QR code generator at zxing-appspot.com. I don't remember telling you how to describe. Okay, too many typos, too many voiceovers. Okay. You can get their QR code generator. Split. Did that. Yeah, it is really fun. But hang on, Jerry. There's even more better ways of getting it. Getting this done. The project that created the standard. Muting Steve while he's drinking. You can find their QR code generator at zxing.appspot.com. And of course, link in the show notes. Anyway, this site has a nice little pull down to select what kind of QR code you want, what kind of password protection you have, and everything else I described. Plus, you can choose how big to make the barcode. I like doing it here because it gives you a download link to the QR code and a URL embed link if you don't want to host it yourself. It also shows you the code that we talked about earlier. Now, you might feel weird about putting the SSID and password of your network into an online service. I would suggest that the danger is incredibly low that anyone could do anything nefarious with this information. Now, we do know we're being digitally tracked around the internets and digitally fingerprinted, so someone with evil intent could figure out who you are and where you live. But they would also have to fly, drive, or walk to your house and stand outside your house to get into your network. That on top of trolling all the QR code generation sites to find you in the first place and, find you putting in your Wi-Fi credentials. I think that sounds like a pretty low risk. But if it does give you pause, you might want to use a standalone application for this instead. The Mac App Store has a lot of them, but oddly, they're not free. Most have no ratings at all, and those that have ratings have 2 stars. In the iOS App Store, there are plenty of good ones. Don't know why they don't have them for the Mac. Anyway, I got one called Crafter, get it? Crafter, but it's a Q. Anyway, it's free with the $3 in-app purchase that I think just gets rid of ads. Crafter lets you generate many different types of QR codes, including Wi-Fi network logins. You simply enter the SSID and password, and it generates a QR code for you. Crafter also does URLs, location, contacts cards, and events. It'll even generate codes that will make a phone call, send a text message, send an email, or send a tweet. I have no idea the use case for that last one, though. Anyway, it'll generate a QR code for an iTunes app URL, which would be really cool if you're an app developer and want one on your card. I tried creating a QR code with Crafter with my Wi-Fi turned off on my iPad, and it actually did still work, so I assumed for the generation of the code that they're not generating with the internet. Now, I was going to say that I couldn't promise they're not passing the information along, but I tweeted out the link to this article, and after I posted it, Oet Grunin and I were chatting about it on Twitter, and the developer of Crafter, Kerem Erkan, responded to my tweet, and he said this: Crafter does all creation locally and does not transmit any of the information anywhere. On iOS 10 and earlier, we needed a generated profile to connect to scanned Wi-Fi hotspots, so it was generated for one-time reading on Crafter servers, but with iOS 11, that's no longer needed. So, I think that's pretty cool. They got the developers' attention to just tell us that. With an iPhone, this whole QR code generation is a lot of falderall, though, now that we have a built-in way of sharing. If you come to my house and one on my Wi-Fi network with your iOS device, as soon as you get challenged for the password, all of my devices will light up asking if I want to share the password with you. I only have to tap share and you never even see the code. It doesn't seem to offer to share the password 100% of the time, so I might do this QR code generating anyway, because that might be easier in the long run. Now, if you do have Android friends, no judging here, having a QR code for your Wi-Fi password does make sense, especially if it's as long and complicated as it should be. I tested with my Nexus 5X just to see if the Apple devices would offer the password, and they did not, so the QR code would be handy. Now, the camera on the 5X also didn't know anything about QR codes, so I had to download a QR code generator, or a QR code reader, I should say, from the Google Play Store. In like a few seconds, I found a 4.5-star app with plenty of downloads. I installed the app, scanned my barcode, and I was able to join the Wi-Fi network. Even with that extra step of on Android of having to install a QR code reader app, it took far less time than it would have to type in my long, complex Wi-Fi password. I learned a lot about this technology in order to answer Linda's question, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I plan on QR coding everything. Maybe my next batch of business cards will just be piles of QR codes. One for each podcast URL in iTunes, one for the website, one for my contact info. I mean, this is going to be awesome. Well, after I wrote up this article and I posted it on Twitter, Matt Casalini replied with an even more interesting way to create QR codes. He suggested using or creating a workflow on iOS to do it. Now, you know, I've been looking for a reason to like workflow, and he may have just found it. He sent me 2 workflows. One of them makes a URL into a QR code, and I've got a link to it in the show notes, and the second one makes a Wi-Fi login code. I took a quick look at these, and without memorizing what they did, I realized I could probably make my own. So I tried creating my own workflow, and I did it. My solution is not nearly as elegant as the ones Matt sent over, but they do meet my purposes. The one for a Wi-Fi password that he sent asks you all the right questions, things like, is there a password and what encryption is it using? But I'm going to be making them for myself, so I know they'll have a password and will be WPA2 encryption, so I'm not going to have to put that in. Workflow does have a QR code generator as a built-in action, but it took me a little bit to understand the interface of Workflow and be able to find it, which is why I struggled a little bit creating it. But once I did that, I knew more about making workflows, so that was fun. The fun thing about the way to make the workflow yourself is that the code that I explained at the very beginning of this article is exactly what you use to take the input from the user and then generate the QR code. So I told you that was going to be important later on, and it is. Since I wrote it myself and I tested it in airplane mode and it still worked, I knew for certain that this one was not phoning home. And now I have printed out QR codes for all 3 of the networks you need to be able to do anything at my house.
The chat room's gone to, we'll say, Hades in a handbasket.
Uh-oh, 150 new messages. What have they done?
Well, first of all, I have never heard that. I've heard of face-offs between Star Wars and Star Trek fans, but Harry Potter and Star Wars in the same...
Really?
Yeah, so on the Harry Potter side, we have Sandy. And then on everyone else's side, we have Star Wars. No,
oh, I'm with Sandy.
Ian popped in, but he seems to want to abbreviate everything tonight. And
Why is that?
It started just a whole bunch of abbreviations.
I'm always on Team Sandy. Oh, and Ian is with Potter too. There we go.
Okay. Not everyone.
I'm sorry, but Star Wars bores me.
Does it?
It really does. I tried not to admit it for a long time. I saw the original movie at the Cinerama Dome in Hollywood, which is like the iconic place to have seen it, and that was fun.
Yeah.
All right, what's up next?
And, we now have Darth Alder as our wingman.
Darth Alder. Oh, did he start it?
He's claiming
Frank's
save
and maybe a chapter marker.
District. But I think it's because everything Frank types is red, or at least his avatar has a red dot.
Yeah, why is that?
Red normally means they're gone, I thought. I thought yellow meant snoozing or doing something else, and green means active. So somehow Frank is, like, not active but typing. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah. Wait a
Maybe we
minute.
just don't
Somebody
know
else
Discord
is
well enough.
red. Oh, Donald Burr is red, but he's actually probably red.
Oh, do not disturb.
Ah.
Frank, you have do not disturb on. Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you, John.
When did John get here?
Oh, John's been
John's
here
late.
quite a while.
John, you are so buying drinks. You're totally late.
Frank doesn't want to be interrupted, yet he's chatting away.
Well, he wants to be in here interrupted. All right, I'm doing the ad. Goodbye.
Bye.
One of the easiest ways to support the Podfeet podcast, other than telling your friends to watch the show, is to click on the Amazon links in the show notes when something I talk about intrigues you. Let's take Toby's review of Melodics. I mentioned that he got a Launchpad Mini from Novation, so I put an Amazon affiliate link in the show notes to it. You might be curious what it does and what it looks like and how much it costs. If you click on that link and then buy it during that session on Amazon, a small percentage will go to help the show. But guess what else? If you don't buy the Launchpad Mini, but while you're there, you instead buy, see, an anti-fatigue map for your standing desk setup, or a refrigerator water filter, or a Harlequin romance novel during that same Amazon session, a small percentage of those purchases will go to help the show. Thank you to all who help pay the bills around here by using the Amazon affiliate links. It really makes a difference. All three of those are real.
3 of what?
Nobody. Oh my gosh, Steve, do you ever listen to the show at all?
No, I have to pay attention to the chat room.
Oh my God, he takes his responsibilities so seriously.
I am the moderator. I mean, if something untoward happens, gotta nip it in the bud.
It's only Kevin you got to really work on. You know, you need to oil my chair.
Oh. Yeah,
right now.
That's
Okay.
How's the pay? Not so good, Ian.
What?
This job of being the moderator.
How's the pay? All right. Okay, here we go. Goodbye, Steve.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I'm going to have a drink first. All right. Oh, he muted himself. That's nice. Well, it's interesting I would be doing this article right after talking about how you should use Amazon. I've always tried to be ethical in my reviews that I do for the NosillaCast. Now that's not going to flow.
Did you do a chapter mark?
I did.
Okay.
I've always tried to be ethical in my reviews that I do for the NosillaCast. If I've received a unit or software for free, I tell you that up front. I also tell you that I believe my reviews are not influenced by whether I paid for a product or not. Human nature probably causes a shift even for me, but I really try to fight against that instinct. I think I'm not so much influenced by the free factor as I am by whether I get to know the person who gave it to me. If they're a faceless company who just asked if I wanted a review unit or not, and I never interact with a human, it's much easier to be snarky in a review. But if I've gone back and forth with someone and they become my little friend, I might choose slightly less inflammatory words for my complaints about a product. Instead of, you know what I truly hate about this? I might write, this product could be vastly improved if. Just a slight change of tone if I get to know someone. Now, I have received truly awful software in the past and some bad hardware, and in those cases, I simply don't do a review at all. Instead, I send feedback directly to the vendor with specifics on what I believe they need to improve before I would ever consider talking about their product. Well, this week, I was approached by a company, which shall remain unnamed, to have the opportunity to review their newest hardware. I'd worked with the company before, and I did indeed have a little friend there. The little friend had suggested that I would be one of the people to get a free unit for test for their newest product. I was really excited to do it because I truly liked another product of theirs that I had paid for. But when the official invite came, it was not an offer I could accept. The offer was this. I buy the unit from Amazon with my own money, then I write an Amazon review. I take a screenshot of the review, and then I send it back to the company, the screenshot, and then they'd reimburse me for the cost of the item. Yeah, that would be a no. I was told that it didn't have to be a good review, that I could say what I really thought, But doesn't that whole deal just sound kind of icky? Doesn't it sound like an approach that would really cause people to send in only good reviews? Well, my own ethics would not let me comply with this request, but I didn't have to rely on my own internal sense of right and wrong. I went hunting, and as I suspected, this is against the guidelines for Amazon reviews. Here's what they say. Creating, modifying, or posting content in exchange for compensation of any kind, including free or discounted products, refunds, or reimbursement on or behalf of anyone else. Offering compensation or requesting compensation, including free or discounted products, in exchange for creating, modifying, or posting content. So it's against the policies for me to receive it, and it's against the policy for them to send it. Now, Amazon used to allow incentivized reviews, but they stopped that practice back in 2016. A company called Review Meta conducted a study of over 7 million reviews on Amazon around that time, and they looked at the effect of these incentivized reviews. I love data analysis as much as the next girl, so I thought it'd be really interesting to look at. In Review Meta's study, they found, or it said, it indicated that the average rating for products with incentivized reviews was higher than non-incentivized reviews. That is a 4.74 average rating versus a 4.36 average rating out of 5 stars. Now, that's only a difference of 0.38 stars, and that doesn't sound like much, but it turns out that small change moved products from an average of 54th percentile to 94th percentile, which would definitely have them get noticed. Another finding of the Review Meta study was that incentivized reviewers are 12 times less likely to give a 1-star rating than non-incentivized reviews, and almost 4 times less likely to leave a critical review in general. Review Meta dug even deeper. Since 7 million plus reviews have to be across vastly different products, they looked at products that had at least 10 incentivized reviews and 10 non-incentivized reviews. That gave them a sample set of 251 products with a total of over 600,000 reviews. With this control in place, the spread was less, but the incentivized reviewers still gave 0.29 stars higher on average. 86% of products received a higher average rating from their incentivized reviews than their non-incentivized reviews. Now, one of the times Dr. Gary was on Chit Chat Across the Pond to talk about memory, we discussed the fallacy of self-perception. We talked about a few studies that have been done that show that well over 50% of drivers believe they're better than average drivers. I gotta say, this Review Meta study really gives me pause on whether I'm truly unbiased when I receive products for free. I have made the choice to accept products for review for free, and I don't plan on changing that. It would be very expensive to do everything I do and pay for every single product. I suggest that you look at my reviews of free products, though, with a more critical eye than usual based on these numbers. I'll do my best to be unbiased, and perhaps I'm one of the very few who are not, but that's probably self-delusion, don't you think? Well, after I posted this story, George from Tulsa reminded me that Amazon does have a method for reviewers to be able to write reviews and receive free products. The program is called Amazon Vine. The idea is to help new products get up in the rankings, but for it to be done in a way that isn't sullied by these ethical questions. The way it works is Amazon chooses people to participate in the program by looking at the reviewer ranks. Do they get a lot of positive upvotes for the reviews? They choose these people and they call them Vine Voices. They even get a little badge next to their name that says Vine Voices. Then companies provide products to Amazon at a fee. I tried to find it on Amazon's site how much the fee was, but I found it on a bunch of other sites and it was thousands of dollars to be allowed to submit a product to the Vine program. Anyway, then Amazon connects the appropriate set of Vine Voices for that product category to do the reviews. Now, as I read about this program, I've realized that Amazon is basically getting people to work for them. That's cool, of course, but I kind of prefer to have my own voice on my own platform. Tying your enjoyment on the internet to any one platform often ends in sadness for you when the rules change and the platform disappears. George and others challenge my rule that I don't review truly bad products, like I mentioned. I understand his point. He wants to make sure NosillaCastaways don't accidentally buy bad products they could have avoided if I had done a bad review about them. I haven't changed my mind on it, though. It takes a lot of time and effort to write the reviews I do. So to write up bad products, that'd mean I'd have to go through them step by step, be fair in pointing out what isn't horrible about them, and then suffer through the really bad parts in detail. That doesn't sound like any fun for me at all. I volunteered to do this for you guys, and having fun is my main goal. I think it would be an interesting podcast theme, though, if someone else wants to start it to only review horrible products. I wouldn't listen to it, though. Okay.
All right, our latest member, Rush, just joined us.
Oh, come on, Rush. We've been waiting for our drinks for 45 minutes already from last time.
So I think, who was it? So John, then Ian, now Rush. That's the order. So Rush owes everyone drinks.
But Rush still owes his drinks from last time. Remember, he was the last one in?
Yes.
What is Kevin doing?
He's R2-D2 now.
Okay. That's adorable.
He's beeping and bleeping and spurting and doing all sorts of stuff.
Tesla snoring over here.
Yeah. Jerry very much appreciated the QR code site.
Oh, good.
I think he's QR coding everything.
Nice. I want you to make your own workflow. That's where it gets really fun. It was really easy to do. iPad apps for toddlers.
Might this have something to do with the fact that you just spent 4 days with your grandson?
Might be. I'm just saying.
Just a possibility.
All right. I got chapter marks.
Save.
Oh, Ian just passed out the beers?
That's a lot of drinks.
If I know Ian, he actually counted. All right. All right, coming into home stretch. Wait, where's my... That's not the right window.
You might even make 6.
It's going to be tight. Because I'm going to have to pull a bunch of audio files in because I have to play...
Right.
I have to play Steve's audio here.
No, not my audio.
You're the one who said it had to be in there. Do I really not have to play it?
Not on the live show.
Well, it's coming. Here we go. Goodbye, Steve. I remember when Steve and I had little kids, we just didn't have nice stuff. I mean, what was the point, right? Everything's going to be covered in jelly and thrown around without discrimination. But now, our youngest child, Kyle, is 27, and he hardly ever throws his toys in the house anymore. Well, these days, we sort of don't have a child-proof house either. In fact, we have cans of paint everywhere, and everything toxic from under the sinks is actually out in boxes at child height because of the construction. What little we can control in the pandemonium of home remodeling is actually kind of nice stuff. You know, we have glass tables, delicate wood carvings my dad made, and of course, our electronics. So when our grandson Forbes came to visit for 4 days, I had to make a tough decision, and that was whether to let his little banana-smeared fingers touch my iPad. Of course, the little man who has stolen my heart got to play with the iPad. While sitting on my lap, on my bed, in the middle of my bed. I let him play with 3 apps I thought might be fun for you to have in your back pocket in case you ever have to entertain a little monster yourself. The first is called Bandimal, Bandimal, and for some reason it's in all caps, and it's from Yatatoy for $3.99 in the App Store. The idea of Bandimal is for your little angel to make music on an iPad while being entertained with funny animations. The interface on Bandimal is definitely unique. You get 3 animals, each of which makes a different noise. Below the 3 animals is a timeline moving across over and over and over again. In this timeline area are 8 vertical columns of dots. If you tap and then drag your finger down one of these columns of dots, that triggers the selected animal to, say, honk or tweet or blat a noise when the timeline gets to it. The farther down the column of dots you pull, the lower the pitch of the honk or tweet or blat. When the timeline hits one of your column of dots, the honk or tweet or blat occurs while the animal selected goes through a very silly animation. Personally, I'm very partial to the panda bear, whose face distorts when it makes the noise. My favorite distortion is when there are 3 dots because just one eye kind of bugs out. Well, above the animals are 3 percussion instruments. Tapping on these changes what they do and can also toggle each of them off. Between the 3 animals making all these silly noises on a beat of 8 and the percussion joining in, you'll have a delightful cacophony of sound before too long. In case the little one bores of making the lines to make the music change, they can drag across on each animal to change it into a new animal. I didn't explore them all, but there's a flipping turtle, and that's not a euphemism for swearing. He actually flips. There's a honking rooster, a wiggly snake, and a whale that blats in a way that makes me giggle every single time. Along the bottom are 2 more controls. One seems to just change the background of the selected animal from day to night, But the other one kind of baffles me. I'm not really sure. It appears to cause the animal to pause for maybe a beat and then move forward again. I don't know. Maybe it's trying to get into the rhythm of the other ones. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to play this game. Now, for a 2-year-old, I think it was a little more complex than he could grasp. He did like the sounds and he joined the animation and he danced to it. But I think as he gets a little older, he'll appreciate that he is actually changing the pitch of the sounds when he drags the lines. He didn't quite make that connection. As it was, he just seemed to like moving things around. But like I said, didn't make the connection between those actions and the results on screen. He liked changing the animals, but he kept changing them all into llamas. And I thought that was boring, so I kept changing them back. I think Bandimal would be better suited maybe 4 to 6-year-olds if I'm correct about their capabilities. Oddly, Bandimal is not accessible, and I can't think of a reason. Actually, I'm not going to say that because I forgot to review the rest of them. I'll go ahead and say it. Oddly, Bandimal is not accessible, and I can't think of a reason why not. Seems like an obvious miss to me. Maybe the visually impaired couldn't see the animations, but the music is the fun part. I thought it might be fun to let you listen to the result of playing with the controls on Bandimal. Here, have a quick listen. All right, Bandimal. Hopefully I have some audio here. Here we go. Are you ready? It's going to be exciting. This is not Steve's masterpiece yet. That's in another section. Controls on Bandimal. Here, have a quick listen. Okay, you get the idea there. That really low sound, that was the whale I was telling you about. I love that. Well, the next app Forbes and I tested for you is called The Piano from Impala Studios. I started with the piano free, and I later on bought the pro version to remove the ads, but a little more about that later. Oddly, the free version has a period at the end of the name, so it's The Piano period when you search for it on your iPad. I don't know why it says that. Anyway, the piano is a great way to engage a child, but I had a lot of fun with it too. The piano opens with a nice piano keyboard, which looked pretty close to the size of standard piano keys. I got curious about whether they were actually the right size. Now, my friend Pat Dengler makes fun of me for digging deep on every subject, but I can't help myself. After a bit of research, I found a Wikipedia article about pianos, which said the standard white piano keys are 23.5 millimeters wide. On my 12.9-inch iPad Pro, the keys on the piano were 18.5 millimeters wide, so they're only around 78% of full size. Then I thought, wait a minute, maybe they're a different size than the 9.7-inch iPad Pro. Well, I checked, and on the 9.7, they're even narrower at 17 millimeters, or 72% of full width. Glad we got that all settled and we know exactly how big the keys are. Oh, there's a hamburger menu on the left of the piano that reveals some really fun stuff. The very first thing I noticed was a slider at the top of the key of it to change the key size. Now, you might be thinking we did all that measuring for nothing, but now we get to do math with our measurements. The slider is a percentage, so if we want 23.5 millimeter wide keys like the standard and 100% on a 12.9-inch iPad Pro is 18.5 millimeters, how fast are the two trains going? Wait, that's not it. All right, 23.5 divided by 18.5 is 127%. Sadly, the piano slider only goes every 10%, so I had to settle for 130%, but that was within my margin of error. It looks like around 23 millimeters. I feel better now that I have the right size keys. Well, the speakers on iPads are fantastic now, so the piano actually sounds great even when Forbes is playing it. Across the top, above the keys, you can see which keys are showing of the full set of 88 keys. You can scroll across to change which set of keys you're playing, which is pretty cool. Fun for the kiddies to hear the different pitches. Okay, it was fun for me too. There's more fun under that hamburger menu. You can turn on note labels, so if you're learning the piano, you can see the notes A through G, or the notes and the octave number. Now, oddly, the black keys don't get any labels, so good luck figuring out that C sharp and B flat are the same darn key. All right, by now someone's asking themselves, if Allison doesn't like music, why does she know something like that? Well, I'll have you know that I played piano for years. Of course, my mother told me that when my brother quit his lessons, she cried, but when I quit, she sighed with relief. She said I positively attacked the piano. That mystery solved, let's just move along. Back in the hamburger menu, you can change the instrument from a classic grand piano to a xylophone or to a toy piano. I love the toy piano the best because it reminds me of the severely out-of-tune piano my mom had at her cottage on the lake when I was a young child. I also remember when Lindsay was a toddler and she was just not getting the concept of the mouse with our Mac 2C. We got her a program to play the piano, and she started just kind of flailing the mouse around on screen, clicking and flailing. There was no connection, no hand-eye coordination of what was going on. But then it hit one of the keys and a sound came out. It was like she'd been struck by lightning. She froze in place and then cautiously moved the mouse over and a different tone came out. She was instantly hooked, and that hand-to-computer coordination translated to all of the other kids' apps we'd gotten her. Plus, music, am I right? On the right side of the keyboard in the piano, you'll see a record button and a play button. Yep, you can record your wee one's first effort so you can make a fortune when they're older and performing at Carnegie Hall. I think they play piano there, right? Oh, you can name the recordings and easily share them out, including to the Files app for safekeeping. Here's my masterpiece. No stealing now. This is copyrighted material. All right. That's going to be here. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Oh, that. Show my screen right now. Oh,
Daniel,
you are.
Daniel just joined us, so he's buying now.
All right, chocolate milk on Daniel next week.
Root beer.
Root beer would work. Look at the waveform of the piano, Steve.
Let me go full screen. Hold on.
Look at this waveform. That's pretty interesting.
That's not what I wanted.
Nope, you're not doing it right.
Here we go. Just try this.
Want me to do it?
Go ahead.
Isn't that waveform interesting?
Yeah, it's very repetitive. It's
very plinky.
It's probably got a beat.
No, but it's plinky. See that real high frequency hit?
Yeah,
okay.
Let's hear it.
All right, here we go. Material.
Oh, wow. Who's playing this?
All right.
Who was that?
It's me.
Wow. That's
no, that
good.
was not Forbes. That was me. I did that all. Okay, Steve, I'm recording right now. Okay, let's take two. No, that was not Forbes. That was me. That was my masterpiece. Well, Steve said I didn't do that good of a job, so he insisted, and I mean insisted, that I include his recording in the show. By the way, what is this song that you played? Everybody plays this, and I never learned it.
I think it's called Heart and Soul. It actually has lyrics, and it's
God.
it's like the beginner song you learn on a piano.
No, but I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? You've never heard
mic
this
is
song?
oversaturated. No, I never played it. Other people did. Here we go. Here's Steve's masterpiece. Get Kevin excited. He's gonna be all excited.
Bruce Hornsby.
In the show. Virtuoso Kevin.
So Frank confirmed Heart and Soul.
Oh, okay, good. All right, I'm muting you. I got to keep moving.
All right, move.
Well, I hope you're all really impressed with our musical prowess. Also, under the hamburger menu, there's a very prominent button that says Forget Me. Below that button, it says Your remote profile will be erased. I have no idea what private information they would have collected or how, because I didn't tell them anything. But don't you wish a lot of applications and services had a button just like that just said, Forget Me? That's all I want, right? I mentioned up front that I bought the version without ads. This is not an easy thing to accomplish. There are no in-app purchases in the piano. The Impala Studios website has a link to the free version, but they don't have a link to the version without ads. I don't know how they make money because they don't have the one that you actually pay for. I eventually found buried in a comment inside one of the responses to an App Store review that if you search for the Piano Pro Impala Studios, you can find it. Sure enough, that worked, but wouldn't a link to the description have been a wee bit easier? In any case, the Piano Pro is $3.99 in the App Store, and I'm giving you the direct link. I hope you'll unlock some musical talent in your young ones with the piano and fill your house with music of a sort, like I did with Steve. Let me pause that for a second. I want to get a second link to that. Hopefully, I will remember to post this again. Yeah, there it is. The Piano Pro. Put that there.
Frank says they're tearing down the Lincoln Center now.
What?
I think you had a reference to the Lincoln Center.
No? Carnegie Hall?
Oh. Never mind.
Okay, come on, Frank. I'm used to Steve not paying attention. I thought you guys paid attention. All right, Steve's muted already. You just made your face disappear, by the way. Whatever you just did. You're gone from my control surface. Now I can see you. What are you doing when you do that?
That's my audio, turning my audio on and off. On. On.
That's weird.
Why
Because I
does
can turn you
audio
off and
change
your
my
face doesn't disappear.
Does this change it if I do that?
Nothing changed. You're still there and your audio's still there. Okay, now your audio's gone and your face was still there.
All right, we'll figure that out later.
Okay, goodbye.
What?
Shh. Hush. Now, the app that entertained 2-year-old Forbes the longest was the drawing app for iPad called Procreate. I'm not going to do a full review of Procreate because its praises have been sung far and wide ever since it came out. Procreate is $10 for iPad from procreate.art. In the context of entertaining our tiny little guy, I can tell you it got squeals of joy. With Procreate, he could easily draw and paint on screen with his finger. As soon as he grew a tiny bit bored, I could change the color of his finger. Now, I said it exactly that way because my favorite part of playing with him with this was after he'd carefully painted on screen the first time, and I think it was blue, he turned his finger around and he looked very carefully at it as though trying to discern, why did blue just come out of my finger? I really like that. Well, when color exchange excitement wore off, I started changing the style of brush with which he was painting. He loved the different brushes. They're not just thick and thin and paint sprays. There are all sorts of unique shapes to be used. The smudge brush was actually one of his favorites, which simply kind of smeared what he'd already drawn. As much as he enjoyed Procreate, I think it would be even better for older kids. His dexterity at choosing brushes and colors is not quite there yet, and he definitely didn't grok the concept of changing brush sizes. It's a good investment at $10 because it'll continue to entertain him as he gets better at these things. I know people love Procreate for creating truly beautiful art, but the drawing Forbes made for me is just as precious. The bottom line is that these 3 apps kept a 2-year-old busy for nearly 20 minutes. And it was 20 minutes where I had to make sure the iPad was safe. But it was 20 minutes where he was creative and happy and not just watching a video or something like that. Now, I got to go find me some screen cleaner. All right. And I just saw it says Procreate at the very end. I bet Steve caused that typo.
No.
Send a blog. Okay. All right, we aren't going to make it. Is that my last one?
Yes. Well, as far as
Is
I
it?
know. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Good. Okay, cool. Ooh, short show. I'm going to get yelled at by Stephen Getz.
How
well,
many
what are
minutes-
you going to do?
How many minutes right now?
33.
Ooh. You don't
Hey,
have a...
I had Forbes for 4 days. Get off my back, Steve.
Oh, I'm not on your back. Stephen Getz.
Stephen Getz. Yeah. All right. Well, this isn't going to be one of our longest shows. Did I mention that my grandson was with us for 4 days? Yeah, that kind of cut into my podcasting writing time. Anyway, that's going to wind us up for this week. Do not forget to send in your dumb questions like Linda Goucher did this week. You can send that and comments and suggestions. You can email me at allison@podfeet.com. If you're liking the Twitters, you can find me on Twitter at Podfeet. Now remember, anything you're looking for starts with podfeet.com. If you want to contribute via Patreon, you say podfeet.com/Patreon. You want to join our Facebook group, podfeet.com/Facebook. Steve Davidson just did a fantastic post over on our Google Plus group at podfeet.com/Google Plus. If you want to join in the live chat, you can join that at podfeet.com/chat. like you're going to next on Wednesday the 12th, right? You're going to join us. You're going to be there. It's going to be awesome. 10 a.m. Pacific time. Join us in the chat at podfeed.com/chat. You want to find those Amazon affiliate links? podfeed.com/Amazon. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeed.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed.
Okay, but before it gets too...
What'd I do? Did I screw up
boisterous,
again?
You haven't saved. You better save right now.
Save.
Save and
Okay.
chapter mark for the end of the show. If people want to go right to the end, the very end of the show, put a chapter mark in there.
You want me to? I should.
2 a.m. Kaylee is, man.
Kaylee will be, she's going to be up anyway. She might as well be hanging out with us, right?
Because of the typhoon? Why is Kaylee
No,
up?
Steve, the typhoon is not going to. Oh, you're talking about right now.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
think.
sorry. I meant the, what time will it be for the,
Oh. Well, so that's 10 Pacific.
what did I just do?
Oh, you're saying 2 a.m. When the Apple event
Well,
starts?
yeah,
Kaylee?
right now it is, I will tell you what time it is. Estonia, Japan.
right,
It's
you're
10
right.
a.m. right now.
Yeah, you're right. It was 2 a.m. for the Apple event.
Did you guys hear that? Did you hear what he said? He said I'm right.
Once in a while, the clock is right.
Really?
2 times a day.
That's funny, dear.
Yeah.
Who had to figure out how
been used.
to make the
Yes.
the names go away?
You did figure that out. By the way, that is for each selection. It has its own
Thank you,
turn
kid.
off and on.
Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Whoops. Whoops.
My light turned off.
Oh, is it too late? Well, that's a little exaggerated, Steve Allison. I almost got it on tape, but he uses his tape. Don't you say that all the time? Did you tape it?
Sure.
Jerry, you're in California. Where in California are you? What's his name? Brett. In fact, where is Brett? Kevin, where's Brett?
Brett is in Rancho's San Margarita.
No, where is he right now? Why isn't he on the show?
Oh.
It's-
What?
So I may not
I'm
have told
answering
the
a
chat.
question.
I may not have told the chat room about a little thing Steve and I play called the wrong question.
We don't have to get into this right now.
Oh yeah, we do. So Steve has this thing where I say something, and he asks me a clarifying question, but it's the wrong question. Like if I say, I want to have burritos, he'll say, how? When might be appropriate, why might be appropriate, where might be appropriate, but he'll say,
So,
how?
I'm just
Or
approaching it from another dimension, right? Orthogonal to where you're thinking.
I have a list of these, and whenever he does them, I send Steve's mother an email so that I can find them all, and they're absolutely hysterical. Some of them are so funny, where like I can't breathe. I'm laughing so hard because the best thing about the wrong question is you don't know what to say next. Like if somebody says how to the question of I want burritos, how do you answer that? You can't answer it because it doesn't make any sense.
It's a very
So-
disarming thing to do.
Yes. Yes, I would say that. Actually, if it was a strategy that to make me crazy, that
But
would
this
be
is random.
Rush likes that game. I bet they want to hear some of them.
No.
You sure?
Look at the time. See, even Tesla's had enough.
How does Tesla know when the show's over?
I think
She doesn't do that normally.
the monotonous sound went away.
Muffins?
I mean,
Rick? Hey, what, Steve? Okay, I'm totally getting some wrong questions in here.
no, we're not.
We're going to do at least one.
All right, just one. We'll stop it at one.
You sure?
Yeah, make it clean. You better
These are
preview
so
it.
funny,
Make sure
though.
it wasn't an inappropriate wrong question.
Okay, so, let's see.
Oh, hey, Des.
Okay.
She's over here.
She just had a bath. She smells like roses.
Roses.
Okay, this is a good one. Well, this is just a weird one. This one doesn't count because it was to Ron.
Ron, a good friend of ours.
Ron said, I'm simultaneously reading 2 books and 4 magazines. To that, Steve said, where are you going? What are you supposed to do with that? I mean, there's no answer.
Well, there's a lot of background. Okay, so if Ron's doing that, because I know Ron pretty well, right? It's because he's researching something, and that typically means he's about to go on a trip. So this is like all the background that goes unspoken.
Perfect example. So Ron was telling Steve and me about a trip he took to England. This is the interchange between Ron and Steve. Ron said, in England, this was too funny. In England, they don't put syrup on their pancakes. Steve says, what do they put it on?
Well, if you got the syrup, you got to put it on something, right?
Oh my God, I love that one. Oh,
all right.
Oh my gosh.
Let's wrap it up.
Are you
right
sure?
Now.
I have more.
We've had enough of this.
I have more.
No.
Oh, you sure? Okay, that one wasn't as funny. I said this was a good one. Wait.
No, because they go downhill from here.
No, this is really funny. Wait.
Ian says he can relate. I'm not sure from what side he's relating to the.
Okay.
Makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you,
one
Kevin.
just. Some of these
Thank
don't
you.
even make sense. I mean, they like I can't even explain
Context.
it. No. Okay. Wait. One more. Okay. Last one.
Last one. It's 6:11 for goodness sake.
Tesla leaned her face down on my chair because she wanted some of my chocolate. I said, look at this face. And Steve said, whose face is it? How do you answer that question?
Maybe an impression? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I love the wrong question. And when the kids were here, it was okay because he would say these things, and you could roll your eyes together and realize how silly Steve was being. But when you're by yourself, you're like, "Wait, did that make sense? How do I answer that?" All right, Steve.
All right, let's
He's
wrap.
probably gonna kill me after the show. Is it a wrap? All right.
Yeah.
Is Rose still here so I can kiss her goodbye? Goodbye, Rose. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, I'm leaving the live show chat too. Bye. All right.
Well, maybe it's not.
What?
I thought I cut the video stream off, but it seems to
Still
be
going? Uh-oh.
Okay, we're still live.
I'd loved it if you'd gone, why did you say all those questions?
This is weird. Let me try it again. Hold on.